Good, Sam?
Too high, huh?
All right, let's get to it. First of all, thank everyone for being here today as we introduce our new coach for the Chicago Bulls. Really, really excited about this. This is really cool to be in front of you all again. Want to start by just sending our condolences to the King family. I didn't know 𝗙𝗓cie King, but obviously if you watched the Bulls game, you know, you felt like you did. And I just want to say, you know, his family's in our thoughts and in our prayers, and we're here for you. You know, you're part of the Bulls family forever. So I just wanted to make sure we start by saying that. Secondly, I want to say thank you to Michael and Jerry. They have been every bit of patient with me during this process, and they've been supportive, and I just want to thank them for just giving the resources that's needed to do a search like that. We talked to a lot of different candidates, and it was extensive, and I want to thank my staff here. They were with me throughout the entire process as well, and we had a lot of really good conversation. And then we landed, obviously, on Tiago, and couldn't be more excited. He's what we're looking for. And so why Tiago, right? At the end of the day, there's so many things we can go into. But the things that stood out to me the most is just he's smart. He's curious as a coach in a game that is always changing. He wants to get better. He's got the right level of competitiveness. He's a good communicator. He connects well with players. He's been in that locker room and won at a really high level. And he's got a vision, and that is so important when you're embarking upon something like this, because we are at the ground floor. And so when you have someone that has a vision that aligns with yours, that knows how you want to play and how to build a program, we couldn't be more excited. And so without further ado, I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time. This is about Tiago. I do want to say this, is that when you're going through a lot of hard times, the coach or whatever, as a player, as a front office staff, you got to be in a foxhole with someone that you trust. And there's no one more that I want to be in that foxhole with than you. So let's get to work, and I'll pass it off to Tiago.
Well, thank you. Well, it's a great moment for me, for my family. I want to thank my wife. She's not here this afternoon, but she's been a great support for me, my family. And of course, I want to thank Jerry, Michael, Bryson, and the whole Chicago Bulls organization for this opportunity, for believing in me. I'm honored to be the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. I think we have a great future in front of us. The first time I talked to Bryson, I felt the connection. I felt how our vision was identical. Exactly what you say, Bryson. We see what we have in our hands and what we can do, and how we can make this franchise to be in the spot where it deserves. We want to create a culture of high standard, great habits every day. Get better, grow. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to take some time. I know what it takes, and I know the responsibility that I have and the expectations that it comes with being the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. So I'm ready, and I can't wait to start and work and be more and more involved with this community. Bulls fans, you guys are awesome. I'm actually, a Bulls fan myself, growing up in Brazil. So I watch many games late at night, hidden from my parents at 1 a.m. watching MJ games and rooting for the Bulls. So super excited to be here and help to lead the team with the front office and ownership. So thank you.
Hi, Tiago. Casey Johnson with the Chicago Sports Network. Welcome to Chicago. Bryson just mentioned it, your ability to connect with players, and if you read the quotes from the exit interviews with all the Portland players, they also mentioned that same quality. How do you kind of strike the balance of connecting with players while also holding them accountable?
Great question, Casey. I think the first thing you do is connect. Actually, I already started doing that. I just met a couple players this morning, texting, phone calls. That's the foundation of everything you do, especially at this level. If you don't have that, it's really hard to demand and make them respect you. But the foundation is connect with the players in different ways. Generations, they change. And you just gotta adapt, but this is the first thing you gotta do. It's one of the pillars of the things you do in basketball is the togetherness. You gotta start there.
𝗬𝗏 with The Athletic. Hey, Tiago, congrats.
Thank you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but dating back to when you were with Paris basketball and in this past year, it feels like you've never had this much autonomy as far as on-court play style, wanting to sort of have a team play the way you want to. I read that David Kahn sort of gave it his team that wanted to play fast-paced, and so you played fast in Paris. And then obviously last year's team, you coached most of the year, but it was 𝗙anci's team. What's your vision for this team? How do you want to play, and what's the sort of shared vision you have with Bryson?
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't mean I don't like to play fast and play with pace. That's what we did in Paris, and it was awesome. It also depends the type of roster you have. That team was very point guard. Our point guards were the scorers of the game. The Blazers was a little different personnel, different roster, of course. We have a bunch of drivers, rebounding. So, of course, you got to adapt your system to the players you have. And that's in every team is the same. Yes, I have a vision. I have a certain way I want to play. But you also have to explore what they do best. And that's what we're going to do here.
Jamal Collier from ESPN. Congratulations. I just want to ask you about why do you think things did not maybe work out in Portland? Obviously, you made the playoffs and had success, but just kind of what is your view there? There's been a lot of reports about sort of the financial situation they had there. Was that a factor in this as well?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, but I want to leave that behind. I'm going to think about the Bulls. That's my goal right now, and I want to keep that behind. I respect all opinions. I think there's too many things being said already, and I think that's enough. I'm past that, and I want to think about the Chicago Bulls.
Drew Stevens, the Bigs. Tiago, you're known for player development. What excites you most about working with 𝗏, and what do you think unlocking the next level of his game will look like?
Yeah, I mean, I've been studying him more and more, of course, getting to know him. We're going to, work every day hard to get him to be the best player he can be. I think nobody knows yet what is his ceiling. He's gonna show, slowly the player that he's gonna be, and we're not gonna stop working. Of course, there's the physical abilities. He's, a guy that learns fast. That's what that's what people have said to me. And he's gonna continue to get better physically. He's gonna continue to shoot better. He's gonna read better, become a better defender. He's a completely packed there. So you got package. So you gotta work everything and then see on a day-to-day where he can affect better to win basketball games. But we see him as a very complete player, both ends, defense and offense. So that's how I see Matas.
Hey, Tiago, Mike McGraw, Daily Herald. There are very few examples of NBA players born outside North America who become head coaches. Now, at what point did you decide that this is the path you wanted to take? Were you wondering if it was even possible for you to get there? How did that journey go?
That's a great question. Of course, there's a label that people put on you, right? Foreign, big guy, 6'11", you don't see many of those. So I was behind the bench in Houston with the Rockets. And I wanted to prove people wrong, because sometimes we put labels like that, and it's a fair question. So that's the reason I went to Paris. I want to, lead a team. I wanted to be a head coach. I wanted to, get a group of guys where they didn't expect them to be and get them better. And I did that in Paris. Of course, I came back to the NBA. Stuff happened. Got a chance to lead a team again, and then did the same thing. So, going back to your answer, to your question, I don't like to put label on people. I hate it when they put it on me, and I like to prove people wrong.
Hi, Tiago, 𝗬𝗏 𝗟𝗏. Bryson's mentioned a couple times about being on the ground floor. You guys obviously have 2 top 15 picks. Just kind of curious about your approach to player development and how you plan to bring some of these younger guys along, and then also how you plan to build out your player development staff.
Yes, this is going to be a group effort. We talked to Bryson. We want to be excellent on everything we do. We're going to create profiles. We're going to create goals. We're going to create the path that we want to develop these players. We got a great chance with the draft now to bring some young talent and, make them the best player they can be. But very organized. I love what Bryson, and the same vision that we have the same vision. So we have the same goal, and that's a big part of it.
Sam Smith with Bulls.com. I had another question, but since you reflected about yourself personally, I was wondering why you think big guys, centers primarily, never get a chance to coach in the NBA. And I think virtually every coach in the NBA is a guard, and as we know, guards mostly want to shoot. And so since they do, the game sort of has evolved that way. I was wondering if being a big guy, having played inside, maybe back to the basket some, that you might see the game differently. Most of the guards today don't know how to feed the post, a lot of things that go on that they talk about. How would you play? Would you play any different given that, you're a center in the game, whereas most guys have been coached by guards?
You want the honest answer on that? All right. As a center, of course, you have an advantage of size. So sometimes players, they play because they're big, not because they're smart or they can shoot or they can do something else. Now, there's centers and centers. I hate to talk about myself or just put flowers on myself or medals, But I thought that I was a pretty smart center player. But that's not the case of just coaching. Coaching is different. Coaching is the ability of course, you got to know basketball, but you got to make them believe. You got to know how to teach. You got to know how to lead, put people together, show them the vision, show them the path. It's a little different. There's so many things that you do when you coach. It's not just X's and O's. You know, when you go through a process like this, I mean, ask Bryson, like, how many coaches he went through and how many details there is to coach. It's not just, I don't think we even talk about plays. I mean, that's not the question. It's like your experience with certain situations, how you manage this and that. So there's so many things that go through coaching, not just X's and O's. Of course, it's important, but there's many things to coach.
𝗏𝗏 again. Bryson, this one is for you. You talked about the shared vision that you guys had. Just what more can you share on that? And then also just your view of working with a coach, like for you as this lead exec role, what does that relationship look like? What does that sort of everyday collaboration look like? How do you sort of go about that?
Yeah, constant communication between ownership, me, and Tiago. That shared vision of we want to put a product that is going to compete at a really, really high level, have really, really high standards, and set a bar high. And it doesn't matter how much talent is in the building right now. We have to establish an identity and a culture that this community and this organization is proud of. And me and Tiago see things from a basketball perspective, as well as a organizational perspective, very similar. And everyone in this building is going to feel it. All the players, they're going to feel it. That when we come to work, we're going to put our hard hat on, and we're ready for a heavy lift. So that's, and speaking very general, we aligned on a lot of those things.
Hello, Tiago. This is 𝗂𝗏 from 𝗏𝗶𝘃 Radio. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How are you going to go about building your staff, and what type of people do you want on your staff?
Great. You know, I want, first of all, you want people that have knowledge, people that connect with players, people that have energy to bring, you know, we call juice every day. You got to bring it. This is a young team. This is a young group of guys that will need that, and we need, of course, we're gonna demand from them, but we also gonna love them. It's a balance, and that's how I see the best staff to do it. And of course, there's guys that are already here, and we're gonna evaluate. We're gonna talk to all of them, and there's people that I'm thinking about, but you know, it's going to be a process. Me and Bryson, we're going to talk a lot. We got a lot of stuff to do these next days. You know, we come early, we leave late. We're working all day here to make this franchise better.
I got one for you too, Bryson. What kind of relationship, if any, did you have with Tiago before the interview process? And that's what I thought. And also, how much did like his wide variety of experience play into the selection? I mean, scout, player development, assistant coach, the international experience, not only in Paris, but also with the Brazilian national team.
Yeah. Didn't have any connection to Tiago outside of me watching him play for the Spurs and winning a championship. So, you know, and to be honest, not just with Tiago, but the majority of the candidates I didn't really have like a personal connection with. I went in really looking to get to know, and that's why I feel like this makes it that much more special. And in terms of like his wide variety of just experiences, yes, that was very, very important in this. It's one thing for me to go in there and tell 𝗏𝗏's got to get better, or Isaac or Jalen or any of those guys, Josh. it's a lot different when it comes from someone that literally sat in that locker room and lost the championship to Miami in 7 games and then turns around and wins one.
Thank you for that.
And not just to say that, he goes to Paris and wins the French Cup, and there was a lot of circumstances there. Like, he's got a phenomenal story, and then again, he didn't choose the hands that were dealt with him in Portland. One game in, some unforeseen circumstance hits, and that is true adversity. Adversity is when you really can't see what's coming. And he handled that adversity. He led during that adversity, and he did it with class. And that just gave myself, Michael, Jerry, and our entire organization that much more confidence.
That's a nice little segue into my question, Bryson. Tiago Splitter, Associated Press, congratulations. That situation in Portland last year was highly unusual. Can you tell us kind of where you felt like you experienced growth dealing with that situation and how maybe it prepared you for this moment and this opportunity?
Well, it took day by day. That's how we did it. It was almost like at the beginning we gotta focus in basketball, try to avoid the outside noise, and that was the hardest part at the beginning. And then make them believe that season was about basketball and nothing else. Takes effort, takes commitment, not just by me, but like the players as well. I think they were tremendous. I give them credit as well to follow, follow me and try to make it happen. But it wasn't an easy situation. I think, as the season went to the finish, to the end, we almost forgot about it, and that was the great thing. And then we had a chance to be in the playoffs, with like 8 games left, and our goal was like, okay, now we got to focus on getting to the playoffs, play in, and always with a plan. And that was the most important thing for me, just like leaving the outside noise out of the picture and focus in basketball. And by the end, you're having like a clear goal and finish the way we finished.
Joel Lorenzi with The Athletic again. Tiago, I think because you spent, 6 years in San Antonio with Pop, I think it's easy for people to say, well, he's influenced by Pop, that he comes from the Pop tree. But, like, what are some of the things you learned from Pop that show up in who you are as a coach today?
Well, Pop was, of course, a great coach, mentor. Still it is. A guy that call me, text me, and help me. Of course, I'm not Pop. Don't get me wrong. I'm not Pop, but he helped me with experiences. I saw what he did when certain things happened, and saw how was he dealing with situations. So I learned from it. The day-to-day thing, like how he treat players. I think he's one of the best, if not the best. How he make everybody feel involved. It's not a secret. Everybody talks about Pop, and he's probably the greatest, or one of the greatest coach ever. So I have a lot of respect to him, and really, I felt like everybody that played for him was like a grandson. Right, like that's the type of love you felt when you play for him.
Tiago, hi, I'm Steve Greenberg from the Sun-Times. You familiar with the term elevator pitch? What's the thing, the attribute, more than anything else, maybe the gift that makes you cut out for this, to succeed here, be the right person? And I'd invite Bryson, if you would, to answer the same question about him.
I think that's a better question for Bryson.
What makes him the right? Basically, the characteristics that I kind of hit on earlier. I truly believe in his basketball IQ. I believe in his ability to communicate, to connect, his competitiveness, his passion for development. And that's where, that's just where we're at as an organization right now. And as we're building, those things mattered a ton. And as we were going through our process, we had all these characteristics written up on the board, and we try to hold ourselves accountable to those things. And so, that he checked a lot of our boxes. And like I said, we're happy. We're happy we landed on him.
Last one to two.
So I got a couple then. Sam Smith, I know your final roster apparently isn't, I didn't miss anything, but I don't think you have your final roster quite yet. But I think the community's probably largest question, you excluded, no offense, is that, what is next season going to look like? Bryson has mentioned, I don't know what word to use, we're at the bottom, we're starting over, something like that. What do you think this next season for the Bulls, for their talking to their fans, is going to look like specifically?
Sam, as we go through this process, we got to see what kind of roster we're going to have, but that's not done yet. It's really hard to give you an answer, We're going to go through this process. Probably in a couple of months I can give you a better answer, but I can guarantee you one thing. We're going to compete every night, and we're going to have high standards with everything that we do. It's really hard to tell you, hey, listen, we're going to win this X or Y or Z amount of games. Will be very not smart by me saying that. So we got to know what's going to be the roster. We got to compete every day. We're going to set high standards, and we're going to go from there. And then eventually we can make small goals and small wins.
Risking Beth getting mad at me, I have one more I wanted to get in before we're done here. I don't want to get into the weeds too much. You mentioned about your philosophy, and seems like from the long view, you're sort of analytics, a lot of threes, layups, free throws, that formula. But one thing I wondered about watching Portland was that you shot a lot of threes, but your team didn't make many threes. And I know you had a poor roster as far as shooting, but why did you continue to shoot so many threes when the team wasn't making any or many?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it's part of what the other teams were giving to us. We were making the right reads, but we were also very good at rebounding those misses. So it's easy to go and see, well, they miss or they shoot a lot of threes, but we also grab a bunch of those offense rebounds, and we score after that. When you go through a process as a developing team, you got to take the right shots, and most of them, were open threes, and we work for those. And every team goes through different moments of, rebuilding, team that wants to win, playoff, teams that are looking for a championship. So it changes a lot depending what's your goal. And our goal was at the beginning of the year, we want to compete. We want to, develop those young guys. Once we did a kind of like a decent job, we were there. Okay, let's make the playoffs. We got it. But those goals changed throughout the season, and our shot profile changed a little bit throughout the season. Our turnovers also changed throughout the season, depending what was the goal and who was playing. So I can talk to you 3 hours about that subject, because I study and I was there and I was worried about this with the same question that you having. And I was checking film, I was checking the numbers, I was talking to my staff to our players. So there's a process behind it. It's just not like, oh, let's shoot threes. We don't care about it. No, there's a process behind it. You know, so that's how you evaluate those seasons or those mini like you check 10 games, 20 games, and see how you're doing, and you try to tweak something to get better, and that's what we're gonna do. Always try to get better and you know, change whatever we gotta do to be a better team and to develop those players.